Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. Before we jump into today's project, I just wanted to chat for a few minutes about kind of the state of things and address a little bit of the elephant in the room. And then talk about going forward. So I just wanted to quickly acknowledge that the world is in a state of craziness right now. And partially the reason why I've been away for a little bit, it was actually unintentional. I just ended up taking a little bit of a personal break right around the time all of this kind of exploded. And then I don't know where my train of thought was going. Anyway, all this crazy stuff happened, and then I had to start working from home. And luckily, I'm fortunate enough where my job can be moved to home and transition my team over and kind of deal with all of that stuff going on. So I'm hoping to get back to a little bit of a normalcy here in the next couple of weeks. So this being the first video back, in the last few weeks. Clearly you can tell it's been a while since I filmed a video because I'm stumbling over my words and I don't know what I'm going to say. I didn't really think about this before I sat down to film. So I just wanted to acknowledge that I am very, very well aware of what's going on, and my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody being impacted and affected, whether it's that you're sick or a loved one is sick or you can't work right now or you don't know the state of work right now. I just know that I'm thinking about you guys, and I want to continue to do these videos as a little ray of sunshine and a little bit of a distraction from everything that's going on right now. I know for me it's a distraction. Like I said, I'm fortunate enough where I'm not in a very severe situation right now, but I know so many that are impacted, and even just in my personal family, there have been people impacted by this craziness itself, not just work and financially related, but health related. So I get it, and I know that there's a lot of crazy things going on right now. But like I said, I personally know that I need a little bit of a distraction, and I hope that this can come as a distraction for some of you guys as well. On that note, I kind of sat down and I was thinking about how I could help people, right? Obviously I can make videos and I can show you guys new projects, but how can I help outside of just doing that? Because I know right now a lot of people probably aren't thinking about buying crafting supplies as their first thing on their list. I know a lot of people are still trying to figure out how to get toilet paper. So I sat down and I was trying to think about how I could help in the best and easiest way possible for everyone. And what I came up with was a free card class. So it'll come to you in this little teal mailer. I'll give you a little bit of a hint or a little bit of a sneak peek. There's a little package inside. Mine's a little bit flatter because I only have one card in here, but basically what I'm doing is, and I only have a limited supply, so let me put that out there right now. I will be sending whoever is interested one of these free card classes. So what it comes with is just the paper materials. So it's the materials to make 6 cards. There are 3 designs, and you have 2 designs of, or 2 cards per design. So it's a total of 6 cards, and it's just the paper type materials, the consumable materials. So like you can see this one has ribbon, paper, that kind of stuff. What you will need to kind of supplement this is some kind of sentiment stamp set. So I was kind of racking my brain of like how to make this as universal as possible, and I figured most people have a stamp set and some ink in their collection already that they could use. And so all you need for this from a stamp perspective is a sentiment. So a lot of these are very, very simple cards. I'll put that straight out there. These are not super complex designs, but I think they're really, really cute. But they're very simple. A lot of them focus around designer series paper because I thought that was the easiest way to make a very stunning card without having to have you guys have all of these different specific stamps and that kind of stuff. So they're very simple cards. Again, this is completely free. I do have a limited supply just because I'm just curious. I just want to see who's interested. If I kind of run out of packets, I will look into it to see what it would take for me to get some more in, but I just wanted to kind of put it out there as a offering for anyone who's interested. I figured a lot of people have their kids at home. These are super, super simple cards, so they'd be really easy to make with kids. Again, even just for yourself as a distraction. So again, this is completely free. I am sending this to whoever is interested, completely free. All you have to do is email me at littlemooncreation@gmail.com with your address, and I will send this out to you literally 100% completely free to you. Again, just to be clear, it is just the paper materials. It's just what you would need to actually construct the card and envelopes. So there will be 6 envelopes included. So you will need like a sentiment stamp set. So any stamp set that you have that has sentiments on it will most likely work. You'll also need like some kind of snail type adhesive if you don't have snail, any kind of adhesive that you would normally use for card making, and then some dimensionals. But the dimensional piece is pretty optional. You don't have to use dimensionals. I would say the 2 biggest things to have would be a sentiment stamp set, some kind of neutral color ink, and some type of adhesive. So other than that, you'll get this packet completely free to make some cards. So that's my little gesture, my little thing from me to you guys, just to know that I'm thinking about you guys. And those of you that are really struggling, I hope that even just this video in and of itself can bring some sunshine to your face. On top of that, to talk a little bit about like video schedule, and then I promise I'll get into the project. I am getting there. I promise. So since I have more free time now because all I do is sit at home, I'm hoping to get to a 2 video upload schedule. We'll see how that goes. I'm not going to make any promises right now, but I would really like to. So my goal is to upload Wednesdays and Saturdays. Again, we'll see if that actually happens. Obviously, this video is hopefully going up on a Wednesday, if I can get it edited and uploaded in time to post on Wednesday. We'll see. But that is my goal. So anyway, let's get into today's project. So this one is super simple, but super, super fun. So this is using the Under My Umbrella stamp set and some of the designer series paper from the Best Dressed pack. Ooh, I got hair and stuff all over this desk. So, really, really fun, really simple to do, and it's using our embossing paste, which I haven't used in a really long time, and I wanted to get back into using it. So, this one's very, very simple and easy to do. Whoops. I'm trying to put the card over there so I can still see it. So, like I said, Under My Umbrella stamp set, this is a really pretty one. I actually really love the scripts and the sentiments in here. I just think that they're super, super pretty. I like kind of the text with the more scripty font. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I love this one. And then this also coordinates with the, I don't know what the name of this is. Some kind of umbrella punch. Let's see, can we find the name of it really quickly? If not... Oh, I just hit myself in the face with my catalog. That was smart of me. Oh yeah, Umbrella Builder Punch. I should have known that. So you'll need that also. As I mentioned, we're going to be using our embossing paste. So this is just the regular embossing paste, nothing special about it. One thing that I did want to point out is that you can color this. So I use just a regular old embossing paste because it doesn't have any glitter to it. It doesn't have anything special going on, but you can make it special. Use some re-inker and change it to whatever color you want. I actually, when I originally designed this card, I colored the embossing paste, and then I just realized that I didn't like the way that it looked. So I'm just going to use it plain today, but no, this stuff is amazing. You can do 110 different things with it. It's fantastic. For ink, we're going to be using Stays On Jet Black. I also just threw in here this putty knife because you will need something for the embossing paste. Use obviously whatever you have on hand. We're also going to be using the Cloud stencil, and this is from the Pattern Party Decorative Masks. We have, I think, 8 masks that we offer now, and these are great. They're pretty sturdy. You can tell mine is super dirty because I've used it quite a few times, but they're really, really sturdy. They hold up really nicely, and I think they're great, and they're not super expensive either, which is one thing that I really like about them. Now on to paper. So I'm going to be using a couple pieces of thick Whisper White. The larger piece is cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. Throw this somewhere over there. And then this little tiny piece I have is cut at 2.5 by 1 inches. And then, so you'll see here, I have this piece of Designer Series paper, the striped stuff on the back. I think that pattern is really pretty. I'm going to be using this other pattern, this green with white polka dots. This is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. But you could find whatever Designer Series paper you think you would like to use. I'm going to use this green one and see how it turns out. This is another piece of Designer Series paper, also from the Best Dressed collection, and you just need it large enough to cut out the umbrella, the large umbrella piece. And then we have our card base. Wow, I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. And this is in Lovely Lipstick, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5 1/4 and scored at 4 1/4. And the other thing that I just realized I don't have with me is you do need a little tiny scrap of Whisper White for the umbrella handle. So I will go grab that and then we will get started. Okay, so I got my little piece of Whisper White. I'm going to throw that off to the side for a second because I want to start with our clouds because those do take a little bit of time to dry, and so I just want to kind of get that out of the way. So I recommend having a scratch piece of paper to work on. This is just a piece from our, I don't know, our grid paper pad, I think is what it's called. I don't really know. I won't lie, I don't know the exact name of it, and I love it. So what I'm going to do is take my big piece of Whisper White and my mask, and I'm going to put my mask down, and I think I'm going to put it, it really doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm like strategically trying to place it. It doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to take a couple pieces of washi tape and I'm going to put it on the mask. So you'll notice I'm not putting it on the cardstock, I'm just putting it on the mask. And I'm doing that very specifically because if you put it on the cardstock, you are going to end up with areas that don't get the embossing paste, and that's not really what you want. Once you start to put the embossing paste down, the cardstock's not going to move anywhere. You really just want to make sure that the mask stays in place. So if you've never used our embossing paste before, it's really, really fun stuff. It's like this fun cloud, kind of like, it's not really whipped cream texture. It's a little bit thicker than whipped cream. I don't know how to describe it, but it's fun to play with, I won't lie. I love this stuff. So all I'm going to do is take my putty knife. Because I'm not coloring it or anything, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put a big old glob down onto the center of my piece, and then I'm just going to start smoothing it over. Now, depending on the look that you are kind of trying to go for is going to determine how you want to do this. For me, I'm not super concerned about having like a really pristine look to this. I'm just trying to get it in there so I have the clouds in the background. If there's a little bit of texture to them, I personally don't care. But if you did care, you would want to just make sure you go over and be a little bit more meticulous than I am, to go over all of the spots and make sure you have it nice and smooth and nice and pretty. Again, I don't care a ton, so I'm not super worried about it. So there you go. And then the other thing that I love about this is there's literally no waste, or very, very minimal waste. Because all I'm going to do is scrape all of the excess back into my container, and then I have it and I can save it for my next project. So it's really nice because there is virtually no waste with this. I'm just going to scrape off the excess, and I think that's good. The one thing that I would say with the embossing paste to be careful about is the way that you store it. So you can see that I leave my little foil film on top of it to try to help lock in all of that air, and then the lid goes on super, super tightly, and then, because I'm a little extra, and this probably does absolutely nothing to help, but it comes in a plastic bag, and I actually leave it when I'm storing it. I store it in the plastic bag to try to help lock out as much air as humanly possible, because air is what's really going to kill this stuff. So as long as you save it in a nice, or you store it in a nice way, it'll last you for a long time. So now I just ripped off the mask, and because I use that washi, it comes off super easily. My cardstock piece is underneath. I'm going to set that off to the side, and I'm going to take this, put this off to the side also so I can go wash it later. And then this piece, this is why I love this, because all I have to do is fold this up, throw it in my trash can, and then my cleanup is done. Super, super simple. So next what I want to do is grab my piece that my 2 pieces that I'm going to stamp. I'll need my punch in a second, so I'm just going to get that ready. And then my ink pad. Oh, actually, I guess I'm going to stamp this piece too, so I should pull that in too. So I have my other 2 pieces of Whisper White and my piece that I'm going to use for my umbrella. So I'm going to stamp all of these. And you'll notice that I am stamping this piece even though it is designer series paper. I just think it gives it a nicer look, and it looks a little bit better to me. Oh, that didn't turn out very well. Let me try. Like, pulled up some of the paper. I won't lie, I've had this stamp sitting on my desk with ink on it for a few days, so don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. Let's just clean this bad boy off a little bit and see if that gets us a better image. Okay, take 2. This is what always happens, right? Always just trial and error. Much, much, much better. So there's that. The smaller piece, remember, this is what our sentiment is going to go on. I'm wondering if I need to try to clean all of these really fast. Let's do it. Actually, I'm just going to wipe them down with my chamois. That should be good enough. Okay, I think that'll be good. And then we're using the sentiment, or me as in I am using the sentiment that says, no matter the weather, we're friends forever. And I thought this was cute. If you have somebody that's going through a hard time right now, it would be really cute to send this card to them, or just in general. I think right now is just a unique time where, you know, there are a lot of people going through hard times. And so to kind of tell them, hey, I'm thinking about you, I think is something cute. So the one thing to note, oh, good thing I didn't do that yet, with when you do the like handle stamp is in the punch, it's crooked a little bit. So I try to stamp it a little crooked. If you don't, it's not that big of a deal. It just makes punching out a little bit easier, I find. But it's not essential. You don't have to do it. So that is all of our stamping. So I'm going to put that aside. And now it's time to punch. Maybe if I can get it open. So again, so simple. All I'm going to do is put this in here and line it up and punch it out. Whoa. I have a piece that doesn't want to come out. There we go. And you're probably going to end up with a couple extra bits. I think I had one fly on my shirt, but it'll be okay. And then I'm going to take this one. Like I said, it makes it just a little bit easier if it's a little crooked, but it's not the end of the world if it's not. Throw away those bits. And now all we have to do is assemble our card. So I will not lie to you. I was a little sneak and I cheated a little bit and I created a cloud piece prior just because you do want to give your embossing paste enough time to dry. It's probably dry enough right now that I could work with it, but the reason that I say you really want to give it a chance to dry is you'll see it's easier if I flip it over, and I don't even know how well you guys are going to be able to see this, but you can see that some of the embossing paste smudges off of the edge a little bit. Not that big of a deal. If you're not OCD like I am, it probably doesn't bother you, but it does bother me a little bit. So what you want to do, and I think it just ends up with a little bit of a cleaner look on your card, but again, totally optional. Once your embossing paste is super dry, what I do is I just take a box cutter, some kind of blade, and I just go along the edge, and you can just scrape it and it'll come right off. Super, super easy. It's not hard to do at all, but you do have to have the embossing paste be pretty dry or it just kind of smudges all around, and you don't want that. So I have done that with this piece. It's super, super dry, and I shaved off the edges already so that this piece would be good and ready to go for us to just create our card. So I'm going to bring in all of our little pieces now as I'm throwing things to the side. Whoops. And I'm going to grab my snail. And on the back of our cloud piece, I'm going to put this down onto my piece of designer series paper. Just like that. And then I'm going to put this onto my card base like this. And then I'm going to take a glue dot. Now again, this is a little extra. This is just me being a bit OCD about it. But I'm going to take my little umbrella, what is this called? Handle? And I'm going to flip it upside down and put a glue dot just on the very, very, very tippy top. And then I'm going to put this onto my umbrella just like so. And then I am going to use glue dots to adhere this. Again, you don't have to. Sorry, I'm looking for my poker tool. You don't have to. I just find that it sticks a little bit better on the embossing paste. And because we have such tiny little elements with like the handle, it's easy to roll up a glue dot and stick it on just like so. And then I'm going to just get some glue dots on the other pieces of the umbrella. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to do it a little wonky, a little to the side in the center, left and right, but up just a hair. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my sentiment and grab a couple dimensionals. And put my sentiment right here. And fold my card, and then that's it, guys. So again, a couple different versions of basically the exact same card. I do really like the green polka dot. I think it just ties in these two pieces really nicely. But again, play with it. Whatever supplies you have, whatever you have on hand, you could make this very easily. So I hope you guys are enjoying today's video. Enjoy today's project. Again, don't forget that I have this free card class. If you are interested, all you have to do is email me at littlemooncreation@gmail.com and I will get one sent right over to you. And again, I hope you all are staying happy and healthy as much as humanly possible, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!